Shamanettes, and welcome to The Beauty Shaman. It is almost Thanksgiving 2022, and I think I can safely say we all want a break and to eat some yummy traditional food and be with friends and family. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, so I'm very excited. In honor of Thanksgiving, I'd like to say thank you for watching the Beauty Shaman channel and for being so supportive. I send you love and gratitude, and also a 20% discount on my store at thebeautyshaman.com. The code that you use at checkout is called Grateful20, all one word. Also, we've added 4 new Truth Treatments inflation-busting bundles, plus Image MD and Jane Iredale already discounted, so you can get up to 40% off these brands. In other words, a bundle means it's already discounted about 20%, and then you put an added 20% from the code Grateful20 on top of that, and you get 40% off. It's fabulous. Please take advantage of this. These are great brands, and they make great gifts as well as little lovely things for yourself. Okay, so for today's look, we are going to create this holiday look. It is a soft glam, monochromatic, smoky eye look that was shown at the American Music Awards ceremony by a singer named Anita, who honestly I've never heard of, but her makeup was really stunning. So I thought, oh, let's do this. I was very, very inspired. All right, it's it's glamorous. I think many of the things that you will love. And I'm going to add a new product that was sent to me that I think is really, really interesting and something to consider. It's an eye stamp liner by iMETHOD Beauty. So for those of you who struggle with that pesky liquid liner look, this could really help. So stay tuned for that. Also, I will put the links below. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so let's get going with our holiday look. So I'm going to run through very quickly my skincare routine, what I do in the morning, just so you kind of have an idea of that. And then we're going to go straight into makeup. It's going to be very brief, so don't worry about it, but I wanted to show you what I do. Okay, I'm going to actually speak now because I think doing the contour and everything from here on out takes a little bit more explanation. So I'm going to do my concealer after I do my eyes because I'm going to get maybe a little bit of fall underneath my eye from the eyeshadow. So I'm going to use the contour. I'm going to use Merit Beauty here. Sorry, I wiggled that a little too quickly. This is Merit Beauty. Really love their contour. This is a clean beauty line, but it's lovely. This color is called Clay. So I'm going to use this because in this particular look, in a monochromatic look, you really are going to really highlight your face, right? Your angles in your face. All right, so got my lovely age spot, which I will cover later. All right, so I'm going to go underneath, but don't go too close to your mouth, right? Under here, we're going to blend all this together. Okay, in her makeup in the picture, she had a lot of bronzer / contour on. So that's why I'm doing this. All right, I'm going to take another Merit product. This is their wonderful contour. You can use this for blush or contour. I absolutely love this brush. When I got it, I hated it. I thought it was too stiff. Now I love it. Awesome. And I'm just going to kind of lightly buff that in. I think if you have extremely thin face or a very angular face, I would say don't do this. It's too much for a few of you, and I would say just do a little bit of bronzer, maybe on your cheek, just something to warm it up a little bit. I think as we get older, we need less contour and bronzer. This is considered a contour. And I've got a bronzer here. The difference is that bronzer tends to have a little bit more warmth to it. Contour is more just to add to the angles in your face. So we're just going to kind of work with both of those. We're starting with the contour. Okay, I'm going to fill in my eyebrows because as you saw in the picture, I'll just put it up again as I speak, but she's really got her eyebrows very chiseled, very, very shaped. So do this according to your own face shape. Some of you, that really strong eyebrow look is just doesn't work on your face. So obviously with all of this, use it according to your own style and your own face. I really am big on authenticity and not trying to meet some weird, ideal that's crazy, right? All right, I'm going to do a little bit of eyebrow. So this is NYX, nice little brow pencil here. It's more like a jelly kind of pencil, and I really like it. And NYX is super inexpensive, so you can get it at Sephora or Ulta or something. Okay, so I'm just going to shape my brow. And I don't do the heavy squared brow. I think that looks weird on older people. We want this to look beautiful, not weird. It's always going for pretty. The way I know how to do my brows, and I'll put a brow video here in the corner, but just quickly, you go to there, you start here, and the iris straight up is where that curve starts. For the most part, go according to your face. If you really want to open your face up, say your eyes are a bit closer together, you can move this line over a little bit, and it will open up your eye. If this is too heavy, then you can tweeze this a little bit closer that direction or have it shaped or whatever you want to do. Okay, to finish off the eyebrow look, I am going to use a little bit of gel. Some of you prefer a little bit of brow gel to a pencil, so that's why I'm adding this in, because we're really going for a very stylized look here today. So this is again Merit Beauty. Again, I'm a big fan of Merit Beauty. Do check them out. But this is their wand, their eyebrow wand, and I'm just going to lightly push these babies up a little bit. This has a bit of a soft brown tint to it. I don't find it to be overly strong, but I think that's pretty. Okay, I think these look a little too strong right now, but I'm feeling like I want the look to be all even, and if I go too soft, I think it might look a little uneven, so I can always diminish my brows as I'm further on. I would rather be able to do that than right now to be a little bit too soft on the brow. So that's why they look a little overly strong. I look like a bit like Groucho right now, Groucho Marx, but it's gonna be fine. All right, I'm gonna do an eye base. This is MAC Painterly. It's, just kind of a neutral tone. I put it all over my lid with my finger. Any eye base that you use is fine. I mean, mine is a little lighter than my skin now because, it's quite a bit lighter. Ooh, I've got some sun. Went bike riding this weekend. It was very sunny. I live in a very temperate climate here in Ecuador, and it's gorgeous out. Sorry for all of you freezing, but it's nice over here. Okay, so for the eyeshadow, we're going to do, again, this soft, smoky, monochromatic look. So I'm going to do, this is kind of the palette I'm going to stick with. This is my own palette. I made this at MAC many years ago for my pro kit. But I think these colors are really great. I went through all of my stuff, and I really think this is probably still the best. You can create your own palette there at MAC, or if you can find some similar colors in a palette that you already have. So I'm going to use this color up here, which is very loved. It's called Cork. So this is a really good color. And this might be, since I'm so tan right now, I didn't realize how tan I was. This might be not dark enough, so I might have to graduate into one of these other colors, but this is sort of the warmth that we're going for here. This is the lovely bronze color I'm going to use quite a bit. And then I've got this color over here called Sketch, which is a lovely, you can see sort of a burgundy, a deep burgundy, which I think is going to be amazing just to make this pop. I've also got a little bit of an iridescent bronzy color here. I'll get all the names of these and put these down below. me get this one right away because this is really cute. Okay, so this is called Antique. I just checked. So lovely. Like these are all really good peaches and just lovely. So this will be our palette right here, just for you to know what we're going for. All right, I'm going to start with this brush here. This is the 217. It's a MAC. I'm so into this brush. I probably use this more than any other brush. So I would say if you're looking for a really good brush to invest in, I would say this is an excellent one. It's not super expensive, and it's made out of, I believe this is either synthetic or goat hair. I'm not really sure. It cleans well, holds up great. I've had this for years. It's worn off, like nothing like a really good brush, right? Okay, so I've dipped into the cork, and I'm going to do what's called a wash all the way over my lid, and then we're going to work from that. So because I've got the eye base on, actually I'm going to put a little bit of powder on my lids because as you can see, my skin is very, very happy right now with all that hyaluronic acid on it. So I'm going to do a little powder on my lids just to keep this from smudging because powder and creams do not go together. I'll take down the shine here a little bit so I'm not blinding everybody. Okay, we're going to take the cork and I'm going to balance this on my chin. So I'm not freehand, right? Which can be a little scary. And I'm just gonna kind of roll this over my lid. Okay, so you see I've just got a really soft wash. I've left a little bit closer to my eye on this side with not so much color on it. I put most of the color just in the crease area and the outer lid, just kind of using that circular motion. But you can see how that's just kind of a soft graduated look. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. All right, so I'm going to do a waterline. I'm going to use this Stila color here. I can't remember the name of it and I don't have my glasses on, so I'll put it down below. But this is a lovely, just right in the waterline underneath. So when going for this lovely monochromatic look, this really helps to pop your eye. Just right underneath. See that? See the difference? It's cool, right? All right, now I'm going to do the liquid liner, and I'm going to try these. iMETHOD Beauty sent these to me, so there's 2 of them, and they're stamps, okay? So it's kind of a fun idea, and I thought some of you who really struggle with your liner might enjoy this, might consider this. I just think it's an interesting idea, so I thought I would go ahead and highlight it in the video. So one is for the left eye, one is for the right eye, and it's a stamp. So literally, you stamp on your eye where the line is supposed to go. And then the other side has a liner, a gel liner. I think that's kind of savvy, right? Because many of us can't get those right, those angles right on both sides. Maybe it's a vision, our vision's off. I have that issue, or, our hands don't, have the same angle, right? So I don't know, it's a cool thought. I think it's kind of fun. I've actually not experimented at all, so this will be fun. Okay, this one's for your right eye. So I'm going to try this on my right eye and see what happens. So I think you just, hopefully I get this right. Looks like you just stamp it. Right where your lashes end. Oh. There you go. There's my little stamp. And then we're going to do the liquid. And I'm not a huge fan of liquid liner for older women. I would say I am going to use it in this video, and if it's too strong, I'm going to tone it down just a bit. But because it's such a glamorous look, I thought that this would work well with it. I do think some of you love your liquid liner, and absolutely, if you love it, stick with it. There are ways to really work with it to soften it down for older women, but I think this will be really beautiful. And then I'm just going to use this to connect that to the stamp, okay? So that's really interesting that I was able to, I've got the little wing there and then connect it. Now it's a little bit uneven because, you know, it's a little uneven because of me and shaky hands and all that. So what I'm going to do is put a little eyeshadow on top of it just to make it a little bit more even. Or you can continue, if you have it, just continue to work at it if you just want the liquid liner. I am going to soften it down just a little bit with eyeshadow, so I'm not really worried about it being perfect, but I think that's kind of interesting, right? Okay, so I've done the eye method stamp and then filled it in. And then I used a little bit of the color that I pointed out in the beginning. It's this one. It's called Sketch, and I put it on over the top with a slanted liner. Now I did it off camera because this is actually, to get your eyes even, is actually fairly involved. I know many of you know this. So I just took pains to really get them even with a little bit of eyeshadow on top. So you get the winged eyeliner look, but I diffuse it a little bit by putting this on top, and I'll demo it so you can see what I did. So I did the liner how I showed you, and then you take your slanted brush here, and we just go right over the top of it. And I just kind of gently press it in and follow that line so that it just goes over the top. So if there's any hiccups in your liquid liner or your application, it just smooths it out. And so that's how you get that lovely line, but it's not so liney, right? It's a little bit more soft, which I'm just saying I prefer that on myself. And I would recommend, I guess, older women to just kind of diffuse things a little bit. Having said that, I've seen a few of you with your lovely winged liner and you do a great job and it looks fantastic. So don't listen to me then. Okay, I'm going to go underneath my eye now with the same color. I'm going to use Cork, which was the color I used all over the eyelid. And I'm going to use that underneath. And I'm going to take that same slanted brush. Now this can be, some of you cannot, like you've got way too dark of circles and this color might match the color of your circles, which I would say then don't do it or use a different color. If you have a predominant undercurrent in your skin, for example, if you have a lot of redness, don't use anything with red in it, right? If you've got an undercurrent of green, like some of you have a little bit more of a green tint to your skin, I don't mean that in a bad way, that's just, it's an undercurrent of skin tone sometimes. Then don't use anything with green in it, right? Or anything yellow or anything in that family, warm family. Stick with the cool tones. So I think that's true with this as well. I've got some, you know, circles here. I've always got a little bit going on, but I think I can handle it. My skin can handle it. So this is a really soft tone. Like in the picture, she just had like a lovely softness. Now, the younger generation can wear this quite dark, quite heavy. I think as we get older, maybe not as much. That's why I put it on with a thin brush as opposed to a pencil brush, which many of you see a lot of makeup artists, if you pay attention to makeup videos, but they'll take this and just go back and forth and really put a lot. I think that's fabulous. I think on older skin, maybe not as much. All right, so I'm going to use this color. It's a nice peachy tone from MAC. Again, I'll put it down below. And with my finger, I'm just going to put a little bit right here. And the reason is I'm going to put a little bit of glitter on top, and I want the glitter to really jump out. So if I put this underneath, it's going to really be nice. All right, I'm going to pop that right there with a little bit. This is actually the lid. This is actually glitter. Eye glitter. This is by MAC, but I've had this for so many years. Glitter holds up really well. So this is great, and it's super glittery. So I'm going to use this with my ring finger and put it right on top of my lid and just make that nice and shiny and pretty. Woo! Okay, I'm taking the color Bronze from MAC. Going to touch up that outer edge. So it's all layering. You just layer and layer and layer until you're happy. I think the layering is really the trick. I think many of us want to get it all just with one color, but really you just kind of build, right? All right, I'm going to go away and put on my false lashes and pop back. Okay, false lashes are on. I put a little bit of a gold shimmer there, brighten that up a little bit right in here. Just wanted it a tiny bit brighter, but I think that looks really pretty. And now we're going to go do my under eye area. So I'm going to take off my, I'm going to clean underneath my eye here. I've got a little makeup remover by Sammy. I don't know, it's pretty inexpensive, but I don't think it really matters. So I'm just going to clean up under my eye a little bit because I had quite a bit of fall there. All right, so I'm going to do some concealer. I'm going to do some NARS Creamy Concealer. I like this color, a lot. It's a concealer highlighter in one. And I basically match my skin. I think it's a tiny bit lighter than my skin. Many of you go too light on your concealer. I'll put a video here about concealer if you need have some more questions about it. But I'm basically use my ring finger. I always like to use my fingers when it comes to concealer because it warms it up just slightly under the skin. And I like to pull it down so I get a little bit of a V right here just to brighten around the eye area. And you can actually take it up here if you want, into your brow. Like that just highlights that whole area, which I think is really, really pretty. I'm going to put a little bit more up here. That might be too much. But that way around your eye, okay, I'm totally messing it up. Around your eye gets that lovely kind of halo effect. Okay, so you can see the huge difference that made just to brighten it under my eye just a little bit. It really popped everything I've done on my eyes. It's, you know, really helped a lot. I'm actually going to do a little bit of highlight on top of this. I would, you know, be mindful not to go too heavy on your under eye area, but I am going to brighten it a little bit more with the highlight here. This is by MAC. And I'm just going to put it right in here. And this just brightens it a little bit more. See that? Just a tiny bit more. And because I'm anal retentive when it comes to makeup, I like that a little bit edgier, a little bit, not edgier, but brighter. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of powder. So I'm going to take my MAC block powder with a kind of poofy brush here, just with this brush, and just kind of lightly tap it in. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of blush. So I am going to use just a very, very peachy blush. So I'm going to take this one here. I will find out what that is. I think it's Melba. Again, it's a matte color. And I'm going to use the same brush. I really love this brush by Merit, honestly. Where is it? Merit. This is the brush number 1. This is like the best brush. I mean, if you're buying a gift and you want to get a brush, I would say just get somebody this one. Or get them the MAC one, whatever I said. It's down below. Can't remember the number suddenly. But anyway, both of these are just amazing brushes. You just use the crap out of them. Okay, so I'm just going to put that on here and put this on right on my cheekbone. It's a very kind of bright, coppery, sun-kissed look with this. The great thing about blush, wipe it off if it's too much, but see, that just warms everything up. All right, if you feel like you need a little bit more bronzer on your cheeks, like maybe it's not warm enough, this is a vapor bronzer, powder bronzer. So again, this is like 50 things on your cheeks, but I'm just saying many of you love a bronzer. And I know some of you, I've worked on some faces that women bring their own bronzer and are like, I like a lot of it, and they really put a lot on, and that's fine. So I'm gonna just demo that a little bit. We're just gonna add a little bit more bronzer here, just to bronze everything up a little bit more, because what I've used before was really contour. And it's just gonna warm up that look. See, I really just use it generously. And I think even if you have a thin face, you can pull off a fair bit of bronzer. Some of you like a little bit of color right in there. So just to quell that urge, or not quell it, but like enhance it or go with it, I'm going to put a little bit of the peach. Oh, that's the gold. No, wait, that's the peach. I can't see. This is all backwards. I'm going to do this one. Okay, I'm going to use Nude Jane Iredale. This is a brand new pencil. I can't find my other one. And I'm going to go slightly outside of my lip line. If you want to learn how to do this in greater depth, there's a video here on how to make your lips like. All right, another Jane Iredale. This is called Molly. So this is a lovely kind of neutrally peachy tone. Creamy peach. And then a Jane Iredale Mocha Latte. Love this color. It's so awesome. I have like 3 of these, seriously, and I stuff them everywhere, so I'll always have one. Okay, so this is the final look, bronzed, monochromatic, smoky eye look for holiday. It's, you know, very, very bronzy, which I think maybe we're dreaming of the summer. I'm not sure. But again, this was taken off of the AMAs, one of the talent there. I just forgot her name because I've never heard of her. Anyway, I think this look is really, really pretty. Now you can add this with a brighter lipstick. You could do a red lipstick with this because bronze and red goes together really well. So, you know, do with this what you want, but I think it is a very glamorous, pretty look for Thanksgiving. So, or for whenever you want to wear it for holiday. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please write down below. I always respond, and I so send you my gratitude and blessings here from the Beauty Shaman for the holiday season. Thank you so much for watching The Beauty Shaman.